A long time ago, there was this rumor that was going around about the government, about the FCC, that was going to be potentially allowing cable companies to start a la carting the channels, right? You could pay a lower monthly fee and get just the channels that you want. Maybe select 10 of your favorite channels, and those would be the ones you have access to. And a lot of people were like, this is great. This is wonderful. I love this. I don't need 400,000 channels of stuff I'm not going to watch. I'm sorry, I don't need the Filipino news network when I live in Austin, Texas. It's just not going to be a thing most people care about. But what they don't realize about that, though, is that the money that they spend into their cable deals ultimately goes to help kind of fund those channels for the people that do like them. It's a very weird thing that's now going to go the way of the dodo because of, well, internet streaming. And internet streaming has been a factor for quite some time. I mean, it was 2007 when Netflix Instant was allowed to be on Xbox 360s and PlayStations. And since then, they've, I think 2008 was Hulu was allowing to be on these platforms. Then you had Amazon, and now you've got CBS All Access, and you got DC Universe, and you've got all of these other services, these SVOD monthly subscription-based services that people can get access to get old content, new content, rare content. It seems kind of weird that we're moving into the age where the a la carte aspect of that people wanted is now being broken down into individual subscription service rather than being all underneath one banner, which is what people ultimately wanted. But listen, I am totally happy with telecom companies getting a little bit of a kick in the dick because I'm tired of the way that they piecemeal out the country and hold everyone relatively hostage, not allowing any other companies to come in to actually allow for free market capitalism. So I am kind of cool with SVOD services, but there's also too many of them. And so, well, it does get to be a bit confusing when you start realizing that even though you want to be a cord cutter, saving a lot of money per month, your entertainment then starts to add up the more that you enter into that particular fight. But now we're hearing that Apple, or well, they fully on admitted that they're doing the Apple TV Plus streaming service. In fact, this is what it says. Apple has unveiled its new streaming service, Apple TV Plus, which is set to feature exclusive original shows, movies, and documentaries from some of the biggest names and creative minds in TV and film. The SVOD service will feature a new slate of programming from the likes of Oprah Winfrey, Steven Spielberg, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Octavia Spencer, J.J. Abrams, Jason Momoa, M. Night Shyamalan, Jon M, and more. The service is ad-free and on-demand as part of the revamped Apple TV app, which will get a makeover this May ahead of the TV Plus launch this fall. Said app is also coming to Amazon's Fire service, Samsung TVs, and Roku. No pricing is announced. Now, the good thing about this is that it's not restricted to having to have the Apple TV set-top box, right? Like that part about it is good. I think Apple realizes that in order to stay, competitive in this field, they need to branch out. Like I have a Roku TV. I have 2 Roku TVs, and hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have a 75-inch Roku TV. That's my goal, but don't tell my girlfriend. The point is, I like Roku because of the accessibility to certain apps, and I like the way that it feels like it's more consumer friendly and more relatable and affordable than Apple TV. Apple TV gets on my nerves because it's just, I don't want to go and spend $100 for another set-top box. But the fact that they're actually moving away from proprietary software and hardware and moving into the software world by allowing this to go to different avenues is going to open it up. Now, the real question then remains, what are they going to do with this content? I mean, Spielberg, J.J. Abrams, M. Night Shyamalan, those are some big names, especially M. Night Shyamalan as of late. And we know that J.J. Abrams has been shopping Bad Robot around for a home. So my question then becomes, is Tim Cook and Apple TV Plus going to lock in Abrams to this extensive contract in order to be able to keep him on the platform, therefore making it more appealing to those people who loved Star Trek and loved Star Wars and loved what other things J.J. Abrams has done? Same with Spielberg. What exactly is going to be the exclusivity contract with Spielberg and Apple TV? What is the content that's going there? Now, one of the reasons why I find this to be fascinating, at least from Spielberg's perspective, is the fact that what you have is Spielberg has talked about this, where he's had trouble getting financing for certain movies. And we're talking about Spielberg here, having trouble getting financing for certain movies. Well, this is where Netflix and Apple come into play because they have the money, because that's where the audience is, to give them the cash. And I find it to be somewhat funny, to be fair, that Spielberg is teaming up with Apple TV SVOD in order to create content that is exclusive to that app, which tells me that it's probably going to be a TV series or maybe a documentary series, but not anything that's going to be a feature film. Pretty much because of the whole anti-Netflix Oscar sentiment that he has right now, that's kind of blown up in his face a little bit. So I am curious to see what this content ultimately is going to be. Reese Witherspoon is getting into production, so she's going to have her production company come into this one. Oprah Winfrey, again, production side of things. Momoa probably going to star in it. See, if he's coming into working with Apple TV, that basically means his show for Netflix, Frontier, is probably done. I don't know if you've seen it. I've heard good things. But we're going to see a lot coming out of this, trying to buy up the A-list talent, as time goes on, right? As these very high talented people start realizing that, theatrically speaking, it's getting harder and harder. Right. But television is in this massive golden age. And now with internet streaming, it's in this even massiver golden age. So I think they're going to be going to these platforms because, for one, these platforms have the money to finance these projects. They get the eyeballs on the screen, which is what they want, which then leads to more financing. And it just seems like the best overall method in order to getting these projects that these creatives want off the ground. That is where the future is going, and it's a very interesting place to be. I don't know if Apple is going to be able to really kind of knock it out of the park. It all really depends on the type of content they're able to bring into the mix. And the thing is, though, they're going to need branded content. CBS All Access has Star Trek Discovery, which is proven profitable enough to warrant a season 3 as well as a Picard series and to growth of the platform. You've got the fact that Stranger Things season 3 trailer was the most watched video on YouTube last week. So people are stoked for Stranger Things season 3 on Netflix, which actually is Netflix's most popular show and actually nets them a lot of money in merchandise sales. Amazon has got the Lord of the Rings show, the Wheel of Time show. They've got The Tick, although that's still not as big as it could be. They've got Man in the High Castle, which is big even though it's ending. They have their own branded content. What exactly is Apple TV going to bring to the mix that is going to separate it from literally everybody else? And quite frankly, I don't know. I don't know. It's not going to be Disney content because Disney Plus is going to have all of its content there. And also that's going to be on Hulu because they now own 60% of it. So Apple is going to have to bring something massive into this fight in order for them to be in any way competitive. Star power will not push prolonged sustainability any longer. Those names might get people in the door, but if the content isn't good, they're not going to stick around. Take a look at YouTube original content. Yes, Cobra Kai is very good. Other things have found its own little audience, but actual widespread appeal is not there. And as a result, they're really hurting right now. So it's something to consider, and I'm curious to know your thoughts. Let me know down below.